There's a 12-foot pond behind my house that out-earned my day job last year. Not matched it, out-earned it. And the fish in it aren't tilapia, aren't kiwi, aren't some exotic species you need a permit for. They're yellow perch, the same fish half the country's grandpas used to pull off a dock with a worm and a bobber. I stocked that pond for less than $400. I feed those fish for almost nothing, and every 3 months a couple of restaurants show up with coolers, cash in hand, and they leave with dinner service for the week. Meanwhile, my old boss is still trying to figure out why I quit. By the end of this video, you're going to have the entire blueprint, the species that actually pays, the $200 tank system that replaces a $12,000 commercial rig, the feed loop that cuts your input costs to almost zero, the filtration trick that runs on a $5 a month electric bill, and the 2 income streams, one obvious, one that nobody talks about, that turn a backyard fish pond from a hobby into a full-time paycheck, on a footprint smaller than a parking space. Here's the reality nobody wants to say out loud. Grocery store fish is a scam. Farmed salmon runs $14 to $18 a pound, and it tastes like a sponge that got lost in a tanning bed. Wild-caught anything is pushing $22, $24, sometimes $30 a pound, and half of it's been frozen since the last presidential election. Meanwhile, the average American household spends around $115 a month on seafood and protein at the store, most of it shipped in from a farm halfway around the world, where the water quality is a mystery and the antibiotic use is a rumor. And if you've tried to get into backyard aquaculture, you've probably run into the other wall, a commercial recirculating system with tanks, pumps, biofilters, and monitoring gear that runs $10,000 to $25,000 before you catch a single fish. That's not a homestead, that's a second mortgage with gills. And it's not your fault you thought that's what fish farming had to look like. That's the picture the industry wants you to have. The extension office pamphlets, the university aquaculture programs, the trade shows, they're all designed for commercial producers moving thousands of pounds a year, because there's no money in selling a small-town family a 50-gallon setup. There's a lot of money in selling them equipment they don't need. So the whole conversation got hijacked. Fish farming got framed as too complicated for a regular person, right around the same time regular people stopped being able to afford fresh fish at the store. That's not a coincidence. That's a market, and you were the product. Now, here's what they don't tell you. Before World War II, backyard fish ponds weren't unusual. They were common. Ask anyone in the Midwest whose grandparents ran a homestead. There was almost always a small pond, dug by hand or by a mule, stocked with bluegill, bass, or perch. During the Depression and after, the U.S. Soil Conservation Service actively promoted farm ponds and helped distribute fingerlings to farm families. By the 1960s, over 2 million small ponds dotted the country, quietly feeding families and generating income at farmers markets. Then industrial aquaculture rolled in. Small pond programs got quietly defunded, and the knowledge went the way of the mule. The Amish and a handful of old-timers kept it alive. Everyone else forgot. But the biology didn't change, and neither did the fish. If you're serious about building an income stream your boss can't take away, subscribe and hit that bell, because what's coming next is the exact species, the exact setup, and the exact sales channel with real numbers you can plug into a spreadsheet tonight. Item 1. Yellow perch, not tilapia, not catfish, not koi. Yellow perch. And this is where most backyard aquaculture dies before it starts. Everybody defaults to tilapia because that's what YouTube pushed for a decade. And tilapia is fine, but tilapia wholesales for around $3 to $4 a pound, and it needs 78-degree water year-round, which means you're either living in Florida or you're heating a tank all winter and setting your electric bill on fire. Yellow perch are the opposite. They're a cool water fish, native to most of the northern U.S. and Canada. They thrive between 65 and 72 degrees. They don't need a heater, they don't need a chiller, they just need clean water and a little protein. Now, the real reason to raise them, wholesale yellow perch fillets are running $14 to $18 a pound at restaurants right now, and in the Great Lakes region, they can push north of $20. There's a supply shortage. Commercial Lake Erie catches have dropped hard over the last 20 years, and every fish house from Cleveland to Chicago is scrambling for local supply. That's your window. A single perch dressed out gives you a 5 to 7 ounce fillet, and one 300-gallon system can produce 80 to 120 pounds of market-size fish per growout cycle. I still remember pulling my first harvest, 32 perch in a 5-gallon bucket, and I stood there in the yard thinking, that bucket's worth more than I made all week. I learned pretty fast that fish don't care what your resume says. But this species only pays out if you house it right, and that's item 2. Item 2, the IBC tote growout system. This is the build that changes everything. An IBC tote, that's the 275-gallon plastic cube in a metal cage you've seen strapped to the back of a semi, used, food grade, runs about $75 to $150 depending on where you live. Facebook Marketplace is full of them. You cut the top off, plumb in a bulkhead fitting, and you've got yourself a growout tank that would cost $2,000 new from an aquaculture supply catalog. 3 totes wired together, one for fingerlings, one for growout, one for market size, gives you a staggered production cycle. You're always harvesting, always restocking, never sitting on empty water. Total build cost with pumps, plumbing, and a basic aerator runs about $450 to $600. Compare that to a commercial recirculating aquaculture system, which university sea grant programs peg at $8,000 to $25,000 for comparable production capacity. You just saved $12,000 by ignoring the catalog. Set them up under a shade structure or in a hoop house, insulate the sides with foam board, and you've got a stable environment that swings less than 5 degrees between day and night. Perch don't like drama. Give them boring, and they give you dinner. I built my first setup in a weekend with a Sawzall, a bag of plumbing fittings from the hardware store, and one bruised thumb. If I could figure it out with no aquaculture background, you can. But building the tank is only half the equation. Feeding the fish, that's where most operations bleed cash, and that's where item 3 comes in. Item 3, the duckweed feed loop. Item 3, duckweed. This is the loophole that turns a break-even hobby into a profit machine. Commercial fish feed runs about 85 cents to $1.20 a pound right now, and a perch operation eats through 300 to 500 pounds of feed per cycle. That's $300 to $600 in feed alone, which is where most backyard aquaculture pencils out looking real ugly. Duckweed is a floating aquatic plant. Looks like tiny green freckles on the surface of still water. It contains 25 to 45% crude protein. That's on par with soybean meal. And under warm conditions, it can double its biomass every 2 to 3 days. That's not a typo. A 10-square-foot duckweed patch can produce enough protein biomass to significantly offset the feed load of a 300-gallon perch system once it's dialed in. You don't feed duckweed straight to perch. Perch are carnivores. They want protein that moves. So you feed the duckweed to a secondary tank of tilapia or small feeder fish, and those get culled and fed to the perch. Or you use the duckweed to grow black soldier fly larvae, and the larvae go to the perch. Either way, your feed bill drops from $600 a cycle to under $100. That's the difference between a hobby and a paycheck. The whole loop takes about 2 hours a week with management once it's running. I skim, I cull, I feed. My wife calls it playing pond. It pays better than my job did. But even the best feed program falls apart if the water quality tanks, and that's where item 4 saves the whole operation. Item 4, the barrel biofilter. Item 4, the barrel biofilter. This is the piece that separates the operators who make money from the ones that dump a tank full of dead fish into a compost pile and quit by month 6. Fish waste turns into ammonia. Ammonia is toxic. In a natural pond, bacteria in the soil and plants handle it. In a closed tote system, you have to build that bacteria a home. That's the biofilter. Commercial biofilters run $400 to $1,500. Or you can build one out of a 55-gallon food-grade drum, a $5 bag of plastic bioballs or scrubber pads, and a small submersible pump. Total cost about $65 to $85. The drum sits next to your growout tank. Water gets pumped from the tank into the top of the drum, trickles down through the media, and returns to the tank clean. The bacteria colonize the media within about 4 to 6 weeks and then quietly work 24 hours a day for years. Power draw on a decent 800-gallon-per-hour pump is around 40 watts. That's roughly $4 to $6 a month on the electric bill. I ran the numbers on my third year. The entire filtration system for my 3-tote operation cost me $67 in electricity for the whole year, cheaper than one dinner out. The old-timers used to say, if you take care of the water takes care of the fish. Turns out they were right. But clean water and fat perch mean nothing if you can't sell them. Which brings us to Item 5. Item 5. The direct-to-chef sales channel. Item 5. Selling direct to chefs. This is where the money actually lives. Most backyard aquaculture guys try to sell to friends and neighbors at $6 or $8 a pound, and they wonder why they're not making rent. That's retail thinking on a wholesale scale. The real market, the one that will pay top dollar and buy consistently, is small independent restaurants and farm-to-table kitchens. A local chef will pay $12 to $16 a pound for whole, live, or freshly processed yellow perch delivered to the back door. Why? Because their menu says locally sourced, and yours is the only local source. Because the alternative is a frozen box from a big food distributor that costs them $9 a pound and tastes like it. Because a fresh perch fillet on a $28 entree is a story they can tell the customer. You're not selling fish, you're selling a story with fins. You need 3 to 5 restaurant accounts to move 100 pounds a month. That's roughly $1,400 to $1,800 in monthly revenue from a single system. Scale to 3 systems, and you're clearing $4,500 to $5,000 a month wholesale before you've broken a sweat. I got my first account by walking into a bistro on a Tuesday afternoon with a cooler and a sample. The chef tasted it, wrote me a check for the whole cooler on the spot, and asked when I could bring more. That took 9 minutes. Job interviews used to take longer and pay less. But there's a second income stream most people never even think of. That's Item 6. Item 6. Fingerling side hustle. Item 6. Fingerlings. Here's what nobody tells you. Every operation that raises fish needs fingerlings, the young stock, 1 to 3 inches long, and there's a chronic shortage. Commercial hatcheries charge 80 cents to $1.50 per yellow perch fingerling, plus shipping that regularly runs $75 to $200 per order, and they only ship during a narrow spring window. Once your system is dialed in, you can breed your own. Yellow perch spawn in spring when water temps hit 45 to 55 degrees. A single mature female produces 10,000 to 40,000 eggs. Even with a conservative survival rate of 15 to 20% to fingerling size, that's 1,500 to 8,000 fingerlings per female. Sell them at just 75 cents each to other backyard growers, and one good spawn event generates $2,000 to $6,000 before you've sold a single pound of fish for meat. I list mine on a couple of aquaponics forums and a regional homesteading Facebook group. They sell out in about 2 weeks every April. Buyers drive 3 hours to pick them up because they can't get them anywhere else at that price. The whole side hustle takes maybe 15 hours of labor a year. It pays like a part-time job that only shows up in spring. Between the fillet sales and the fingerling sales, my pond doesn't just out-earn my job, it laps it twice and asks if I want to race again. Now I'll tell you the truth. I didn't start as a believer. I started as the guy who killed 60 perch in the first 8 weeks. Bought them from a hatchery in Ohio, drove them home in a bait bucket, dumped them into a tank I hadn't cycled, and watched them float belly up over the next month like some kind of slow-motion horror movie. I lost about $180 in stock and every ounce of confidence I had. My wife stopped asking how the fish were doing because she didn't want to hear it. I almost quit. I sat in the yard one Saturday and did the math on selling the totes for scrap. But something my grandfather used to say kept nagging at me. You don't fail until you stop. So I read everything I could find, actual textbooks, not YouTube, the Purdue extension guides, old USDA bulletins from the 1940s. I rebuilt the biofilter. I let it cycle for a full 6 weeks before I stocked the next batch. The next round, I lost 4 fish out of 100. The round after that, 1. By the end of year 2, I was harvesting 90 pounds a cycle and had my first restaurant account. Year 3, I quit my job. Not because it was easy, it wasn't, but because I finally understood the system. That's when I became a convert. The fish weren't hard. I was just doing it in the order the industry wanted me to do it. Expensive first, smart later. Once I flipped that around, everything worked. Let me save you from the mistakes that wreck most backyard fish operations before they get off the ground. Mistake 1. Stocking before the tank is cycled. New water has no bacteria. Ammonia builds up in days and wipes out your entire batch. Fix: run the system empty for 4 to 6 weeks with a small ammonia source, or seed it with media from an established tank. Mistake 2. Buying the wrong species for your climate. Guys in Michigan raising tilapia and heating water 12 months a year. Guys in Texas raising trout and shocked when they die in July. Match the fish to your water temp. Perch north of the 35th parallel, tilapia south. Trout in cold country with shade and cool inflow. Don't fight the geography. Mistake 3. Trying to sell retail before you have wholesale. Selling 1 pound at a time to a neighbor is a nightmare. Land 2 or 3 restaurant accounts before you harvest your first fish. Line up demand, then produce, not the other way around. Mistake 4. Under-aerating the tank. Perch need dissolved oxygen levels above 5 milligrams per liter. A $5 aquarium air stone won't cut it in a 300-gallon tank. Get a proper linear air pump, minimum 40 to 60 liters per minute. Skimp here and you'll be scooping dead fish out at 4 a.m., which I promise you is not the retirement dream you were sold. Picture your yard 18 months from now. It's early morning. You walk out with a cup of coffee past 3 neat tote systems tucked under a hoop house. You skim a little duckweed off the surface pond. You check the biofilter, humming along at $4 a month. The perch are fat, calm, cruising. In the driveway, a chef's van is pulling up for the weekly pickup. Cash envelope in the glove box. He waves, you wave. It's Tuesday, and you haven't had a boss in 9 months. Your grocery bill for protein? 0. Not reduced. 0. Your monthly income from that little corner of the yard? Somewhere between $3,500 and $5,500 every month, rain or shine, with about 15 hours of actual work a week. Your kids know where their dinner comes from. Your wife stopped asking how the fish are doing. Now she asks how much you're depositing on Friday. That's not a fantasy. That's biology plus a spreadsheet, and it's been sitting behind your house the whole time. Here's what I want to know from you. If you could pick one, the fillet income or the fingerling income, which would you build first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll tell you exactly what I'd pair with your choice to get your first system profitable inside 12 months. Next video, I'm breaking down the one crop most homesteaders overlook, the plant that pairs with a fish pond to double your income without adding a single hour of labor. It's the missing half of this whole system. You're going to want to see that one. Your backyard is enough. It always was. You just needed the right pond.